question that I'm often asked on this channel is how much it costs to live in Thailand. Well, as I said on my last video, how long is a piece of string? My answer is always, it will depend on where you want to live and how you intend to live your life in retirement. I know people who, through necessity, live on virtually nothing, but I also know people who live in exclusive upscale apartments or houses with a large disposable income and live their lives to the fullest. This is part 2 of how much it costs to establish yourself in Thailand, with part 1 being about owning or renting real estate in Thailand. So check out that video if you haven't already seen it. I'll put the link in the description. This video will cover how much you will pay for electricity and water, how much does it cost to buy a car or a motorbike here, the cost of flights, petrol and bus journeys, how much will your monthly mobile phone costs be, the cost of eating out and the cost of groceries. So sit back and enjoy the video, and I hope that it's useful to you. So, as the last video was about how much to rent or to buy a house or a condo, let's start with how much you will pay for electricity and water in the property you might be thinking of renting or buying. In Thailand, electric costs 4.68 baht per unit or kilowatt. By comparison, in Australia, the price varies from state to state, but on average it's about 30 cents or 7.27 baht, which is nearly double of the cost of electricity in Thailand. In the UK, it's 24 pence per unit or kilowatt, or 11 baht. So if you live in Australia, your bill would be double that of Thailand. And if you lived in the UK, you'd be paying close to 3 times more for your electricity bill than you would in Thailand. On average, I pay 175 baht a month for water charges in my condo. I did a Google search, and in the UK, a person living alone averages 37 Great British pounds every month, which is the equivalent of 1,700 baht, or about 10 times more than I pay here in Thailand. And in Australia, a single person averages 53 Australian dollars a month, which is about 1,200 baht, or 9 times more than what I pay here in Thailand. Anything that's imported into Thailand is generally expensive, and cars are no exception. So I'll give you a rundown of how much the more popular cars here in Thailand cost, and you can compare them to the prices of cars in your own country. If you're considering bringing your own car from your own country to Thailand, if you love it that much and you can't bear to be without it, you'll find that there'll be about a 200% tax on that. So if your car's worth, say, $20,000, they're going to tax it $40,000. So not many people ship their own cars over. So let's start with the popular Nissan. So a new Nissan Almera will set you back 549,000 Thai baht. A Nissan Kick will set you back 779,000 baht, whereas a new Nissan Terra will cost you just under 1.2 million baht. And if you like the new Nissan Navara Calibre, that will set you back 765,000 baht, where the Navara King Cab will set you back a mere 649,000 baht. The single cab Navara will set you back 595,000 baht, whereas the Nissan Leaf will cost you a whopping 1.59 million baht. So now we'll go to Mitsubishi, another popular car here in Thailand. Mitsubishi Mirage starts at 509,000 baht. The Mitsubishi Attrage starts at 529,000 baht. And the Triton Mega Cab starts at 740,000 baht. The Expander Cross HEB will cost you 961,000 baht. The Triton Athletic starts at just over 1 million baht. And the popular Pajero starts at just over 1.5 million baht. Now if you did a lot better than I did preparing for your retirement and you're looking for a high-end car, a 911 Porsche Carrera will set you back just under 11 million baht. A 911 Cabriolet will set you back nearly 12.3 million baht. A 718 Cayman will set you back 16.5 million baht. Whereas a 911 GT3 will set you back just under 26 million baht. If Mercedes is more your thing, a C350 will cost you 2.75 million baht. A GLA 345 will cost you just over 3 million baht. And a CLS 220 will cost you close to 4 million baht. Maybe you'll think that buying a car here might be too expensive for you. You might decide to buy a motorbike instead. That's what I do. I ride my motorbike most of the time, and when I'm going on a long trip I rent a car, and that only normally costs me around about 13,000 baht for a full calendar month, 31 days. I don't rent from Hertz or Budget, I just rent local, and they're very cheap here. So a Fino Final Edition will cost you 50,900 baht to buy here in Thailand. Whereas the Grand Filano starts at 63,700 baht. The Aerox start at 72,900 baht. And the Exciter starts at 79,500 baht. Clothing is very cheap to buy here in Thailand, though there is the high-end market for your high-so people who like to buy designer clothes. But there's also many markets selling branded name clothes and accessories such as Gucci, Chanel, Prada, Nike and Louis Vuitton for a fraction of the price if you don't mind knockoff gear. When I lived in the UK, Australia and the USA, I needed more formal clothes and different clothes for different weather because of the seasons. Whereas in Thailand there's just a hot season and a wet season, so you really don't need lots and lots of clothes like you may do in your own country. So you need a raincoat for the wet season, along with t-shirts, shorts and a pair of flip-flops. I must say I hardly buy any clothes here, and I never ever wear long trousers anymore. I do have a few pair in case I'm invited somewhere a little bit high-so, but I very rarely wear long trousers or proper shoes. I wear slip-on shoes or sandals. I normally pay about 200 baht for t-shirts, and shorts I can pick up for about the same, a couple of hundred baht from the local market, and slip-on shoes or sandals will cost me around about 400 baht. When I go back to see my family in Australia, I do have clothing that I've left there for seasonal wear, so that's maybe an idea. Don't throw all of your seasonal clothes away if you're coming to live in Thailand. Store them with a friend or family member back in your own country, because you might need them when you go back home to visit family. The cost of getting around Thailand is very cheap. To get around the cities and towns, there's many options: taxis, motorbike taxis, tuk-tuks and buses. And in Bangkok there's trains and MRT. A 30-minute train ride across the city of Bangkok will cost you only about 40 baht. Whereas a 1.5 hour, 800-kilometre flight from Bangkok Suvarnabhumi Airport to the island of Phuket will cost you 1,120 baht. If you don't like flying, you can take one of these superb air-conditioned buses from Bangkok to Phuket for 783 baht, and the journey will take you round about 12 hours. Petrol here is only 39 baht a litre, and compared to many Western countries, petrol is cheaper here. And unlike Australia, where I used to live, it doesn't go up or down on a daily or weekly basis, because the cost is controlled by the Thai government, not the petrol station owners. This ensures that ordinary Thai people on low income will be able to fill up their tanks to get from A to B. You'll find phone charges are very cheap here, and can also be free. Most people here in Thailand use the app line. and gives free phone calls to anyone who has the same app on their phone, which is very economical way of contacting your friends when it's free. My phone provider is a company called True, and my bill comes to 775 baht every month. This includes the internet, and because I use Line and another app, Viber, all my phone calls are free, so my bill never changes. It's always the same amount. The costs of fruit and vegetables and groceries here in Thailand are a lot cheaper than they will be in most Western countries. The exception being imported goods. Anything that you buy that has been brought in from a Western country, perhaps your favourite biscuits or tin foods, and also beef and lamb, because beef and lamb is not part of the staple diet here in Thailand. Most Thai people don't eat beef or lamb, they stick with seafood, chicken and pork. Imported goods such as wine, imported beers are also a lot more expensive than if you buy local wines and beers. I eat and cook at home at least half of the week, and my grocery bill on average comes to round about 5,000 baht a month. Whereas if I was still living in Australia, I'd be paying at least that every week, not every month. So it's a lot cheaper for me to live here than it would be if I went back to Australia to live. And when I do go out, I don't go to high-end restaurants, I go to places like Bangkok and mainly Thai restaurants or food stalls. And when I go out, it normally costs me for a few drinks and something to eat and listen to some music about 500 baht a night. And I go out 4 nights a week on average. So let's say 8,000 baht a month for going out and entertainment. As I said in part 1 of this video, I live on average on about 50,000 baht every month, which is about the average monthly Australian single pension. And I live well on that, and I live well within my means, without having to touch my investments or savings. It covers the cost of my rent and utilities, my phone bill, groceries, going out regularly, petrol, and upkeep of my motorbike, as well as clothing. Keep in mind that these costs are just the week-to-week basics, and they obviously don't cover such things as any medical or dental expenses if I want to go back to Australia to see my family, or if I want to rent a car and travel around Thailand while staying in hotels, as obviously all of that would be extra. But on an average month, when just staying in Hua Hin, 50,000 baht, or sometimes less, is all that I spend. And I know that if I'd stayed in Australia, or if I'd gone back to the UK to live, my life would be nothing like it is now, and I would just be living from week to week, where my pension would only cover my basic living costs of rent and food, with nothing left at the end of each fortnight to go out and enjoy myself, or pursue my passion for travel. So thanks very much for watching, safe travels, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers for now. So, if like I was before I moved to Thailand, you're sick of your own country that's getting more and more woke by the day, and where your rights are being slowly taken away from you by your so-called government, where the country that you were born and grew up in is deteriorating so much that you don't even recognise it as your own anymore, maybe it's time to consider retiring or living overseas. If that's the case, take a look at my new book, The Retire in Thailand Handbook 2023. It's filled with everything that you need to know about living in the land of smiles. Or, if Thailand doesn't rock your boat, take a look at my book, The 10 Best Countries to Retire on Your Pension. Thailand, Malaysia, Vietnam, Cambodia, Bali, Spain, Portugal, Costa Rica, Belize and Panama. So thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers for now.